All right, so it's Sunday. Another weekend, no drink. Got through my birthday. Had a 3-day carb binge off my diet. I got to get back on my diet as of today. It was fun, but it was another stark reminder of why dieting is essential, and sugars and bad foods make you feel bad, especially when you're not eating like that and you do something like that. I could feel it physically, but that's neither here nor there. It was fun though. Sugars and bad foods, definitely fun. And I love to eat, but I'm sure I gained a few pounds, but we'll be all right. We'll use that as fuel for our muscle. I figured I'd do a video bald. I'm freshly shaved, but I wanted to really hit home with remembering the hangover, okay? If you're someone who does not experience hangovers, then more power to you. I would drink in a 12-hour time frame from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., give or take. Would not hydrate, would not sleep, and my hangovers were very, very bad. Just waking up, feeling dehydrated with a massive headache. Sometimes my headaches would last 2 or 3 days. It was more of like a mini migraine. And like, it's from dehydration, blood pressure fluctuations, stuff like that. So, just wanted to really hit home on this Sunday how good it feels to not have drank, right? Every day going and not drinking is a blessing. And the more you do it, the more resilient you'll be. All right. I literally hit 8 months in 2 days, and I'm gunning for a year, and I'm not stopping until I hit it. I'm literally 2 times past my all-time best of 4 months from like 5 years ago. And I'm very proud about it. My birthday gave me slight cravings. Every once in a while it'll creep in, and it'll be like less than a minute of like fixating on it, and I'll get scared, like, oh my God, like this is how I used to be for hours back when I was drinking or trying to get, when I was getting sober for like the first few weeks. I would fixate on it for hours. I'd have it for like a minute, and then I'll just cut it out. But I'll be like, oh my God, like what if I drink? That type of fear will hit you. Then it goes away. It always passes. Always passes. But it's very minimal. It's not nearly as strong. That grip's not as tight, like I've said before. But I've never woken up and went, wow, I wish I would have drank last night. I say this all the time because it's so true. I've never, ever done that. I would feel horrendous right now. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't get anything done. I have stuff to do. I would avoid all of it. I wouldn't work out. I would lay around all day. I won't be making videos. A lot of good things come from sobriety. Substance use is going to hold you back across the board, okay? My life has gotten drastically better since I've quit drinking. Like, I've always made it by. I've always saved money. I've done everything I'm doing now, but now I'm doing it to a greater degree. Alcohol didn't like have me at rock bottom fully, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like broke, all that. I've had money. I was still working out. I held a relationship. I was working a full-time job. I was doing all this stuff, but the weekends and stuff, it was holding me back 100%. And if it's affecting you to the point where you're not working, if you're not working and you're drinking more than that, and it's affecting you further than that with like DUIs and repercussions like that, then you'll be way better off without it, like 1,000%. But the anxiety, like, I'm anxious in general, and the anxiety alone keeps me away from it. Like, the equilibrium shift, and I've heard people explain it different ways. Alcohol suppresses your central nervous system, right? That's why you feel relaxed. everything. And then once it's out of your system, it throws it out of whack. And your body's suppressed down and you're constantly up here, you know? So hence the higher form of anxiety. And obviously the dehydration is just not good in general. You know, you have to be hydrated, especially if your diet's off. Like if you're just drinking soda all the time and then drinking on the weekends, you're just constantly dehydrating yourself. You have to drink water. And sometimes I mess that up with my coffee. But at work, I'll constantly drink one of these at least per day. I try to. But on the weekends, coffee is definitely, I drink too much of it. I've stated this before 1,000 times. But, coffee's an issue for me. But it's not hindering me as much as alcohol was. But, yeah, that hangover, that shame, picking up your phone, going through whatever messages you were sending, the things you did the night prior you don't remember. You don't have to deal with that anymore. You know, you're living to numb out and shut off your brain and to turn that switch off, right, for a few hours. And that's what you're living for when you go to drink like that. But the next day, you always come back to reality. Always remember that. Reality always comes back. And then you have to deal with it on a way worse level. With the anxiety, the headache, the laying around, the feeling like crap, the feeling shame, you know. That all this goes away when you quit the substance. It's like all that leaves, you know. Your life's not going to be perfect. You're still going to have things you have to work on. I'm still super exhausted. Like my sleep is so messed up, but I still work out. I still get things done. And I don't know if that's coffee. Maybe I'm crashing in the evenings, but I think there's something off with my sleep possibly that, you know, I'll figure that out. But it's not nearly as bad as when I was drinking. I would waste entire weekends. She is ready to do laundry, I can tell. She's on this kick now. We used to go around like 11 a.m., 10, 11 a.m. Now we went at 6 a.m. the one day, and she's hell-bent on going early from now on. She's smiling. Now she likes to go because no one's there, because we're both introverts and we don't like to be around a bunch of people doing laundry. Yeah, I miss having a washer and dryer. I can't wait to have them again. Where I'm living, there's a hookup in the basement, and I'm not going to be doing that. The way the layout is, I'd have to go back around the entire building, and it's whatever. Neither here nor there. But, yeah, all that goes away. Not all your problems are going to be fixed, but I'll tell you what, it'll alleviate a lot of them, and that shut off you're seeking is just making it worse the next day, you know? It's just making it worse. All the hungover days, you know, the half of the week where I'm recovering and then working during two of those days, I'm punishing myself way worse than the drunk was ever even worth to begin with. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. Every time I've drank, I always regret it the next day. Every single time. It's like you wake up and then I remember the mornings I'd wake up and I thought like, oh my, maybe it's a dream. Maybe I didn't actually drink. And then it's like, oh, I did. And you get up and you feel like crap. You start drinking your waters and your Gatorades and you have 10 containers laying around you. You're eating like crap. You know, your diet goes out the window because you're more susceptible to eating like greasy, nasty foods. So your diet's taking a hit. Your liver took a hit. Your kidneys took a hit. Your heart took a hit. It's just not worth it. I love not having it on my mind as much. Dwelling on it on Fridays and Saturdays. That dreadful hangover, you know. And it can affect your work life too. If you're drinking like on a work night, I've seen people miss all the time, and I've done it when I was younger. I haven't done it in the past 2 years. I'd kept it to the weekends, but there were times where I would drink like Saturday, like into Sunday morning, and I would call off on a Monday. Or like after like July 4th, if it hits a midweek, I would drink July 4th and then call off the next day, you know? And that's, you're losing your holiday pay at some places. You're losing your day's pay. You're laying around doing nothing. So it can hinder the workplace too, you know? It can affect you all over. And let's not even talk about DUIs. You have ARD, which can cost, what, $3,000? And then if you don't get it expunged off your record's tarnished forever, you know, with a DUI. There's people with multiple DUIs, man. You can get serious jail time for that. So it's going to crush you financially, get jail time. Imagine a year's jail time. That's going to cost you like $40,000, $50,000, if depending on your salary and what you're making. Maybe less, maybe more. Because you're not going to make any money working in jail. That's for sure. It's sickening. Everyone I know that goes to jail for 6-12 months, I'm gaining so much. I'm running circles around them out here, you know. Let's not even talk about the wages in jail. You don't want to go there. And if you've been there, I'm sorry. Hopefully you learned from it. And it made you a more productive person. But not much else to say. Just remember that hangover. And just remember, no matter how long you're sober, it's always going to feel the same. I've drank after 1 week, a month, 3 months, 4 months. That hangover is the same. It might be slightly different, depending on how much you drink. Like if you're drinking to excess and you have 4 months sober and you go out and you drink, the hangover might not be as bad as if you were drinking every week. Actually, it's worse because of kindling and, you know, your tolerance. But you're always going to feel like trash every single time. Because that was something I battled. Like, oh, maybe the hangover won't be as bad because I haven't drank in several months. And you wake up feeling the same exact way. And you have to remember that because your mind's going to want to play tricks on you. But yeah. Anyways, that's about it. I'm to the point now where I'll think of like liquor and like 8%ers and beer, and I get sort of sick. I feel disgusted. I think I would throw up if I drank any liquor or any 8%er. Now, like if you get down to like the stuff that tastes better, like the 5%ers, I could probably handle those. But alcohol in general, it's repulsing me at this point in time. At the end of my drinking, when I would drink liquor, like, I had about half gag while I was doing it. You know, when I was drinking shots or drinking mixed drinks, I would physically gag. And it wasn't like that when I was younger, but it's more of like, my body just had enough, you know? It's just like, you know, why are you consuming this? Why are you doing this? To such a degree. There were many nights where I did throw up. You know? But, sprawled out. My cat. But yeah, that's about it. Just remember that hangover and try to remember what it's costing you. It affects people in varying degrees. There's people that it's affected way worse than it's affected me. Financially, physically, mentally, you know, socially. But yeah, I'm going to go get some errands done. Have a good weekend.